Hi guys, this is Sydney. Um, I was just sitting here, looking at the ocean waves, kind of just like meditative state here, sitting quietly. And all of a sudden, I heard my spirit team be on camera and share something. I actually didn't want to because I just wanted to have this moment and just do nothing and the message of sharing something has been coming up the last few days as well, but I was feeling a bit tired. And so I'm on camera, and today is the day of the full moon, or the full moon in Scorpio this year. And it's going to be, I believe, here the 13th of May will be actually the full moon. So the energy is still surrounding us at this time. And for some reason, I was feeling pretty tired and still am. I've been yawning continuously. But I felt called to come out and connect with the ocean. So I don't know what message may come through. There are a lot of things that I constantly process every single day, but let's see how it goes. Let's see what comes out. So something that they want me to share is about that crime disclosure that I shared a few videos ago on YouTube public video, that I briefly share that I sense the energy of crime, and I was constantly tapping into it, especially ever since I got here. I've been connecting with different timelines, especially like 1800s, 1900s, those timelines, like mafia, gang, French, Italian, especially like German, but especially more so French, Italian, very heavy like gang, mafia energy. And when I enter into a park, which I also share in the earlier videos, when I just got to Sydney, was I kept feeling this energy of this huge crime underneath. And the town that I live or staying in right now is kind of an old town, and as I was just looking out the ocean, I started to see this place in 1800s. I don't know why 1800s kept coming up, but all this crime scene that's kind of been brewing, is the word, brewing, that's been in the underworld. The energy is still lingering very heavily on Gaia, is what I'm going to share. So I start to see all these people in clothing in 1800s and something of that nature. So about a few days ago, I can't remember which day, within the week time, I was walking around the coastal area here, and then there was a quiet park. So I walked towards the bench there, and the moment I was walking towards the bench, across from me was a lady with like 5 dogs. And all of a sudden, this black dog started to look straight into my eyes, and he started running. And his face was like, so he was an old dog from what I tap into immediately, the energy. And then as I sat on the bench, he ran straight to me there's a kind of a, like a distance, 10-15 meters. And then he sat right next to me. He got on the bench. He sat right next to me. He didn't look at me. He just sat right next to me. And then I started to pet him on the head and just connect with him. And then it was really a touching moment. So something that I recognize is when a dog or a bird communicates with me from a spirit world. It's different. The energy of them coming in, they're communicating, their eyes are different, the birds. Like I'm connecting with their consciousness, and then there's a message with them through the spirit world. So ever since I got here, I was in between different dimensions, different timelines constantly. And I was tapping into a lot of the shadow energy, that mafia and all of that period as well, especially so a lot of European energy, Italy, France, Germany, Turkey, and also the Middle Eastern energies like Lebanese, and all those crime. And I start to see like bloodshed and money laundering and all those money underneath the ground of certain regions, certain neighborhoods. And whenever I pass by that area, I just get goosebumps, and I just felt really like dark, spooky energies, and I didn't want to like be nearby. And that was ever since I arrived here. And then about a week ago or a few days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, that black dog, and I've been seeing that day everywhere, black dogs everywhere. And he was sitting with me for quite some time. And then he looked at me at one point, and then I connected with him, and then he showed his side face, and I took a photo because I wanted to remember this moment. It was so touching. My heart was so touched. And it's like he was like watching over me at that moment of time. It's like the guard in the ancient like Egyptian like times, something like that. And he didn't do anything. He just stood next to me, just guarding, protecting, like as if that's the energy. And there were other dogs that he was living with this lady. And this dog, little dog, he seemed like a younger dog. He kept barking at me because I sensed that I am taking this dog. And so he was not happy. And so he kept barking. And then I felt like I wanted to, take off and just go on with my walk. And then as I did that, the dog kept on watching over me. He kept on looking at my ways. He kept waiting until I was gone. So I said, it's okay. So I had to walk, stand up, and go near the lady who's the owner of this dog. And I really thanked the dog and the spirit team. And as soon as I stepped out, all of a sudden I received the message, Anubis. And the side face of this dog was the resembling that very look of the Anubis, the god of the underworld. And then in that moment I knew that I was tapping into the underworld energies of the Gaia's history. So these kind of things happen to me quite often that I do not share all the time. But, something that I also shared was like back in March 2023 that I was kind of in between worlds, and as I was activating my light language with blue avians, like, I don't know, maybe like 70, 80, I can't count the numbers, just flock of ravens start to flow, and they were above my head like in a movie or like animation, and I was communicating with them in light language to spread the energy of peace, love, or something like that. And I was constantly communicating, and that happened for a while. And then this time, this was another event that I was in the underworld, and as I was going in, he was protecting my way. And ever since I got here, the energy has been so dark. It was quite heavy on me. It was very challenging for me to recognize and transmute these shadowy energies and go into, like, walk into the underworld, so called, because it is really like spooky. It's really spooky, and you get goosebumps and you get chills, and it's like, oh, you just don't want to go into that area. I saw a lot of bloodshed, the money that built a lot of the cities are based on these dark monies. And also, a couple of days later, I was sitting in under one of the trees here, looking over the ocean, and I just wanted to, like, sort of go into more like reflective, meditative state, and I was doing that. And I was drawing something, and I've been drawing these symbols, numbers, and phrases that come. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I've been drawing. I've been coloring, I've been drawing them, I've been writing them down. The colors and the symbols and shapes that come are it's like an activator, like a light language. So and whenever it comes, I was doing that, and I was doing that under the tree, and all of a sudden, I think I was there for about an hour or so. I heard the sound of flock of birds flying into this very tree that I was sitting under. And I thought they were like seagulls, because there are a lot of seagulls around. But actually, when I looked up, there were like so many, like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70. All of a sudden, like, they're like crying or singing. And they kept singing, and then I looked up, it was white parrots. So I was kind of scared that they would poop on me because there were so many on the tree. Like, it was basically covered with the white parrots, and people was like around me wondering what's going on. And all of a sudden, something dropped on my on the screen that I was drawing it, and I immediately knew that it was time for me to go. And so I wiped one of the poop from the white parrot, and I got myself out of there. So, like, something like this was happening quite often ever since I got here. and even with certain events. So this full moon is the full moon in Scorpio, and Scorpio represents that tapping into our shadow side. It has this very resurrective energy, transformative energy, and it helps us tap into our emotional world, the shadow side of things, so that we could bring them to light, basically. So what is coming is the defender becomes a liberator when that happens. So Scorpio, as you know, is a scorpion. So they have this poison in their tail. It is to defend them. And once it transforms, it becomes a dove or a phoenix rising. That's the energy. So I'm just going to go on and share these things that is coming for me to share at this time. And as I'm doing so, I'm looking to the ocean, and I don't know where the sun is, but I don't know whether that's the sun or the moon. So this morning when I woke up, I received a message from the angelic realm about this full moon, the Wesak moon, that in Taurus in full moon, all the ascended masters are gathering at the Himalayas, and they're sending out codes. And this year, what is to take place is the huge cosmic gathering at Mount Shasta, was the information that I received from the angelic realm. So there's going to be cosmic master from all the different planets, the sun, the Helios, the moon, the Mars, Venus, Mercury. This year I heard that Mercury cannot attend, so Archangel Michael will replace the place. And basically Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, Pluto, Andromeda, Sirius, Pleiades. So all these cosmic masters are going to gather, and they're going to send out these cosmic frequencies, and they're also going to take these frequencies to their planets for the universe. And that's the energy that we're living right now. And that this is going to touch everyone's heart and everyone's frequencies, whether they realize or whether they're aware or not, is affecting everyone on Gaia, on Earth at this time, is what I'm going to share. And with that, I suddenly start to receive the message, the cosmic heart expansion, and then the rose lineage activations, clearing of the womb lineage, sacred womb. That's the sacred mother energy. With that, Mother Mary energy has been coming through. And so we've been working up until this moment, since the new moon in Taurus, heavily with releasing all of these wounds of separation, basically. So as I was walking here, I was constantly seeing, I usually see number patterns all the time, everywhere, basically. Ooh, the dog just run ran by me, right next to me. And then just a lot of 7-7 energies. And also what came was the Buddha and Christ. They're coming together to further send out these frequencies to dissolve this energies that is in the underworld of Gaia, clearing that frequencies and energies out of Gaia right now as we speak, to help people to further expand their cosmic heart, higher heart, however you resonate, the heart activation further. It is what is taking place, and so we needed to really look into a deep shadow that was very, very uncomfortable. That this is also going to further disclose some of the crimes and some of the truths that were hidden since the 1800s is what is keep coming. So they built a lot of big cities, like major cities in the so-called the westernized countries, like here in Australia, also like New York City is a big one, and major cities like in Paris, and the energy of Rome, of course, recently with the 5-5 portal just before that, and also with the Pope dying, that was marking the end of that era. So all of this religious code, separation, the dark energies that build many different cosmopolitan, metropolitan cities around the world, had to come up to the surface again with the throat chakra activation. That's very heavy with the parrot energies. The truths must come out. All the things that were hidden, dark, they needed to come out so that we integrate the darkness into the light. So another thing was, the big thing that I kept sharing was the energy of oneness as part of that work on an individual level, is to really go around, and whenever you interact with someone, whenever you fear someone or something, you can ask yourself, what am I afraid of myself? What parts of me that I'm afraid of? Sometimes we don't realize that we are afraid of our own gifts, our own power, our own something, due to this ancestral wound that we are carrying in our DNA, and we don't even realize it goes way back. Due to certain lifetimes that crucified people for being such, or crucified people for doing such, or living as such, or being that person as such, and all these energies. And also, whenever you find yourself judging or hating on someone, meaning you want to be the God, you want to be the judge, right? That's why we call it judging, meaning the ego, that you are superior than everyone else, basically. And that's the illusion of power that one wants to sustain when they're operating on ego, meaning basically low self-esteem, because deep down they don't feel like they are worthy. So they create this false narratives or patterns or identities where they're now becoming the judge of everything. Their opinions matter the most. And interestingly and funny enough, right? We don't do that directly with other people. We do that behind people's backs, in hidden sight, because we are afraid of repercussions. We are afraid of being ostracized, rejected, hated on. So that's kind of messed up, right? Or an irony in and of itself. But that's what we play in our mind psychologically. So we have been continuing to looking into these areas where you are subconsciously, unconsciously playing the judge of everything and everyone else, to feel like you are superior over other people. That is the power, that illusion of power. But in fact, deep down, there's so much fear, meaning one is afraid of their own power within. That irony, we are to look into that further and release. And another thing that came up was what was it? Suddenly, the more I try to think, oh, okay, it's coming up. So it's like a computer, or it's like your email at this time in the full moon, to release all this energy of separation, or to start fresh, or however it is for you that resonates uniquely. It's like, visualize yourself deleting all old contents in your mind. So it's the old knowledge, what I know, what I knew, that is constantly replaying, recycling. And at this time, with this new energies coming in, we need to empty, continue to empty, in order to receive these new light codes, new frequencies. So it's like deleting all contents, emptying out your trash in your email, spam mail, old emails that you don't need, deleting everything. It could be physical. It could be also symbolic, however you resonate. Also, it could be your old items, old clothes. It could be old places, old memories, old attachments, old friendships, meaning outdated friendships, outdated relationships, outdated work contracts, so on and so forth. So that is something that I'm feeling called to share at this time. And another thing that they want me to share is about we need to, as like building a new platform, we need new law enforcement is what is coming. So the current law system, current judicial system is based on that old energy. It's built on that old centralized authoritative energy. That it's not allowing people to feel free, or it's not promoting sovereignty. It's very much built based on like that punishment idea if you don't listen to what we say, and that's leading to the power. The more I have that voice, the more power that I have. We are continuously working on the throat, right? Against that energy. To speak your truth, to be your own true self. So So that's another thing that we need to work on, is something that I'm going to share. New judicial system. So I don't know whether someone is in law enforcement or in that place with the new rising leadership. That's another area that we need to reform as well very strongly. That built a lot of the systems, and still people are it's hindering individuals from exercising their sovereign power, is what is coming for me. That is related to this big energy of sovereignty that we are working with at this time, especially with the throat chakra activation, and with, again, Archangel Michael. So whatever that is that you're working on, the energy of Joan of Arc has been coming through very strong. All the historical figures who stood against these kind of centralized, authoritative, whether it's religious power structure, they were going against, and they were standing strong in their own truth and sovereignty. That was holding the light in that period of darkness, or the age of darkness, and we carry that lineage in our womb space. And the importance of clearing the womb is we need to give birth to the new, and how we give birth is through the womb. And how we give birth is through the emptiness, empty space in the womb, the darkness, the gestation period, right? When we are in that period, we are in the dark. And there has been a lot of the ideas, concepts that created belief systems, that created all these lower timelines and energies on Gaia in regards to these kind of dark energies. That's why we've been heavily activating the dark feminine energy with the so-called divine feminine risings, especially around this time, working with the ancestral energy. Also merging the energy of Atlantis and Lemuria is all very big. That womb space, that we were so much conditioned to be afraid of the dark, and that we did a lot of things hidden. But now it has to come to the light. So I don't know, whatever that crime that started with the mafia, the gang, however that is, I get a lot of heavy New York energy. That's also connected to that sort of the European energy, because their ancestors are from that Central Europe. It's all connected, the money laundering, everything. That dark energy needs to continuously be released. And as I was going into that underworld, tapping into the energy constantly here, it is extremely challenging. It is very unpleasant, because there's a lot of dark energies, meaning like lower vibrational energies. But I have to go into that here with Pluto, for Pluto as my soul mission at this time in this part of the world here, for Gaia's ley line clearing. So all these energies, the frequencies from the cosmic masters, they're to further continue to clear up all the ley lines of Gaia, and that's one of the purposes, is what is coming right now for me to share. So somehow I feel I keep seeing these energies of 1800s as I'm sitting here. I'm just going to share these things as it comes, as they want me to continue to speak. So continue to open your heart and just see everyone. If you're afraid of certain situations, or if you find yourself hating certain people, you can do this exercise where you can start to see them as part of who you are. And if you are hating them, what aspect am I hating on myself? What aspect am I being afraid of my own self? So that way you can utilize this shadow to empower yourself rather than stay afraid. That's giving light to the shadow to transmute. So as a reminder, only thing that is real is love. Fear is an illusion, right? But we mentally know this, but to really bring that down to the heart, it takes a lot of practice and work, dedication and commitment. So with that, the message is, continue stepping wherever you are. To not give up on whatever journey that you may be on. At times it may be very challenging, at times it may be very tough, that you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, you feel like you can't go on anymore. I know how that feels like. And at one point when I even here, I was just being hit with all this like underworld energy so much that I was tapping into. I remember like lying in bed just laughing my heart out and just swearing in Korean, which I never really do. Just like, like basically fuck it, and then I just laugh at all these things that are playing out like Mario, like a game. It's like and then you jump, and then another one, and then it's keep coming, and I'm like, as you level up, it's like there are more things that is coming, but you have to go over the hurdle. And I just started to laugh like crazy, and then just keep swearing like fuck everything, fuck it, I don't have any regrets if I die tomorrow. Like that, I literally meant it. When I said it to myself, it's like, I have no regrets. I can leave this earth, leave this body tomorrow, next moment, and I have no regrets, nothing. And so I just, it's kind of it was a process for me to like surrender that way, which is kind of funny, but that was the only way that I had to laugh and be crazy, and then just raise my frequency, and so that I gain strength and continue, because the energy was so dark and so heavy. So sometimes that's what we need to do, I guess. If you resonate, just swear, just say things that you never really said out loud, and just have it out, and then see this as a game, and not take it too seriously, because the more I get into it, it's like there's so much, and you could just go crazy. It's like I'm seeing this timeline now, another timeline, and different timelines all simultaneously, tapping into the Akash. And even like with people, I see like the connection to Greece, Egypt, or like Italy. Like it's too much at times, and that's for me personally, and also for someone else who may be going through their own shadow work. You have to go through a lot of psychological stuff that may be very heavy, having to deal with family issues, relationship with your parents, all of that. And we are in the process of realizing that we are love. Easy to say, right? But we are in the process of embodying it more and more. So the more you see other people as an aspect of who you are, it's an exercise that you can do if you resonate. They are part of me. That if I find myself judging them or fearing them, what I want to do is I want to love myself unconditionally. So you start to also see them not from the old programming, old contents, you see, but from a new content of oneness is a big message that is coming right now. The new content is the oneness. So they're part of me, despite how they look, how they appear, the image based on images all created out of the programming, or the race or age, or however they appear on the outside. We are all part of each other. That's the cosmic energy that is aligning right now in this full moon in Scorpio this year. Very big energy. So continue to work with that. There are other things, but that's the main message, I think, the cosmic part. Seeing others as part of yourself, and continue to speak your truth, continue to activate your throat chakra, expand, continue to share your authentic expression, who you are as you are, continue to embody all aspects of yourself. And we can only do that by going inward, and that's the self-knowledge, self-discovery journey. The more you discover about yourself, the more you're going to liberate yourself from all the illusions that we've been carrying from the age of darkness, is what is coming for me to share at this time. And continue to ground your energy to the physical, that frequency, as you work and empty out, so that you encode new codes with then that emptied out space. You are bringing in new contents. That new content is oneness, unconditional love. That's the sacred mother that we are activating within our room space. This question is kind of universal in a way, right? Who do you like better? Do you like your mommy better or your daddy better? And usually the kids say, mommy. Why? Why is that? Do you feel nurtured, comforted, seen, heard, loved, cared for, just really safe, protective space, right? this big man goes home and hugs his mom and he starts to cry like a baby. That's a safe place that it can do. This vulnerability, right, over insecurity is another thing that we are working on big by learning to trust again as we open up our heart. And this tough girl who's like who's been operating on extreme masculine out of survival goes home and hugs her mom, and starts to cry or starts to share what's been going on. It's that powerful energy of the divine feminine energy of the sacred mother. And one thing is that when someone had a really tough trauma, and what they do is they start to shut off their heart, and the side effect of that is they have a hard time crying. They can't cry. They're operating very heavily on survival. So their heart starts to shut off. They go to extreme solar plexus or root chakra for like achieving and accomplishments and success and all of that. So that's another symbolic message. The ability to cry is something beautiful, to share your emotions raw, to communicate emotions, which we have to hold on in order to not be punished or judged as weak, which was the common social standards, I would say, that is coming in the age of darkness, or up until recently. We are starting to change, little by little. And when we look at this world that we are living in 20 years ago from now, 10 years ago from now, even 5 years, it's a very different world, and the people's consciousness is very different. So even though we don't see the progress as drastically, it is taking place, and these energies supports are still taking place. So allow your divine feminine energy to be that nurturer of your own divine masculine energy, where it doesn't always have to feel like it needs to toughen up or defend or do things all the time for survival, which is the lack energy, is the emergence of the divine feminine with the divine masculine that we are working on currently. And the basis is the now divine feminine, very unconditionally embracing energy. And in that embrace, the divine masculine doesn't have to operate out of insecurity that was leading to the need for control and winning and achieving and dominating the world. But now it's more like building, producing, providing, protecting for the highest good of all, the humanity. So that's the energy that we are activating, integrating, recalibrating, however you resonate with these terms at this time is what I'm going to share. And as I'm speaking, the sun is behind the clouds, and soon the moon will rise up, continue to work with the energy of the sun, the energy of the moon. Allow this light to help you go into your own underworld, symbolically, however it is, despite how much it could scare you at the beginning. That journey is a worthwhile journey, and it's a must journey. If you want to liberate yourself, if you want to feel free, liberated, sovereign, however that is. And with that, what is coming for me to share is the Bob Marley's quotes. So he was asked in an interview, despite this Western world, right? Like, I think the question was like, are you a rich man? And Bob Marley said, what do you mean rich? And the interviewer said, are you a millionaire? Or something like that. And Bob Marley asked him back, money makes a man rich, right? And he said he doesn't have that kind of riches. His riches is life itself. So that's the energy that we're returning to. We are remembering to that song, the return to innocence. And with that, what I'm seeing in my third eye is a white dove, the symbol of peace and freedom. And so we are going into the era, freeing all these religious codes continuously, that we've been constantly doing something as a means to an end, unconsciously, subconsciously. Like if you're running, it's for a goal. If you are doing something, if you are surfing or doing, it was like very heavily subconsciously programmed. It was very difficult for us to just do and be and just breathe life and be content being right here, right now, existing. A lot of people have a hard time resting, not doing anything, even after they crave a vacation or free time. Once they have a lot of free time, when we are being programmed and conditioned, it feels like on a subconscious level they feel guilty because they're not doing, they're not producing, they're not achieving something on a subconscious level to make a living, to survive. And so it creates a lot of subconscious worries and anxieties that we've been living with. So we are to remember what it's like to embody and understand that meaning, that our riches is life, that our abundance is life, what it means to live again is a big energy and something that you can reflect on and continue to release with this full moon in Taurus is what I'm guided to share. That we are no longer to live for the money or live for the achievement or live to become something, but live and just be fully content with this moment. And in that moment we are creating, and it is taking us somewhere. That's the flow state once again. It is carrying us forward rather than we are pushing harder to get somewhere, to get to that aim and to accomplish that goal. It's a very different mindset. It's a very different way of looking, perspective, consciousness. So we are embodying all of this all together. on an individual level, as a collective. And so for now, up until 2032, we're in this very much transitory period, right? So with that, whatever journey that you are on, however you've been feeling, I just want to share love that you're unconditionally loved, which is sometimes very hard to feel, right? You're unconditionally loved by the universe, the God, your spirit team, your guardian angels. Mentally, we process it, but to bring that down and really feel it here, it takes a while. But we will continuously, and I will continuously share the words unconditional love, that you're unconditionally loved, you're always loved. For those of you who may need this, and that whatever that you've been doing, you can take a break, you can rest, you can pause, but not to give up, and gather your strength, gather your breath, and continue to step on, is the big message that I feel called to share at this time. So it's getting a little bit dark. You see, just wanted to share the energy of waves, the ocean for a bit, so you can meditate if you feel called to. And allow nature to embrace you once again. So with that, I'm going to wrap up here and sending you lots of love. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.